I think I'm live. Hey, folks. How's everybody doing? How's your Thanksgiving going? Like to wish all my American friends a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your holiday. Let me just get this going here real quick. We live. I think so. Am I live? Let me know if I'm live, guys. For some reason, it's not showing up on my phone. Hey, Fender Guru, Sonia, how are you? Mitch Heyman, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a great Thanksgiving. Oh, there I am. My melon just popped on the screen. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. Let me just say hello to everybody in the chat. Simon Williams is going to catch the replay. It's a little late for Simon. He's in the UK, but thanks for popping in, Simon. Mitch Heyman, how are you? Jason Wade. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. Who else we got? Jimmy T. Hey, man. You going to try and crack the hack? Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Who else we got? Fender Guru, Sonia. Thank you all so much for popping in. I am live. Yeah, for this 5 minutes, yes. Adam EVH, how are you, man? The boss is here. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Of course, I'm in Canada, so we had our Thanksgiving a few weeks back, but I'm really digging the football. Having football all day is a good idea, so thanks for that, US. That's awesome. So I got a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. Stuff that maybe doesn't get mentioned enough, I don't think. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Sonia. I wanted to talk about tone today. Guitar tone, and how important it is, at least from my perspective. How I achieve tone, what I strive to do with tone. I think tone, Metal Stage, how are you, man? I think tone is just as important. Brian Cote, how are you, man? I think tone is just as important as what you play. And I think tone, you have to have the appropriate tone for the music that you're playing, or whatever you play, it just doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? Hey, Amanda, how are you? Just to give you an example, if I was playing like a very clean, for lack of a better term, country song, okay, and I had to play like some type of very, like a solo in a country tune, if I dialed up some crazy overdriven feedbacky thing, and it would, no matter how good my chicken picking was, which I can't do, but I'm just using that as an example, it would sound like absolute crap. So I truly believe that the tone that you choose has to match the music that you play. It's just as important as your note choice. Okay, if anybody agrees with that or disagrees with that, let me know. Tone is important, but being in, of course, well, being in tune. Yeah, that I'm assuming we're in tune when we play. So yeah, if anybody has any comments, agreements, or disagreements on that, pop it in. Okay, so Fender Guru agrees. So with respect to tone, I only within the last, I'm going to say 3-4 years, have I been really focusing on tone. Because before that, I was, I wasn't as picky as I should have been. And I really reflected in my playing, in the sense that because I didn't have great tone, I always thought my playing was bad. I mean, not that it's great, but, worse. Because the tones I was dialing up were not good or not appropriate, for the music. Like, it's always seemed like there was something lacking. And I could never wonder, oh, hey, Zipfix, how are you? I could never figure out what was missing? Why didn't I sound like the guy on the record? You know, tone wise, just strictly tone wise. Earl Painter, how are you? Michael Bishop, how's it going? Wow, we got 19 people already. This is awesome. I didn't actually expect a lot of people to pop in, seeing as it's Thanksgiving in the US and all, but this is great. This is great. I love my sound. That's cool. That's great, ZipFix. Yeah. So tone changes the emotion. Yeah, exactly, Amanda. So it was about, I'd say about 4 years ago, roughly, that I really started to dig into tone. And that can be a rabbit hole, okay? Like most things, you know, guitar related are. And when I say a rabbit hole, it's, you know, it's the pursuit of tone. And I mean, there's a million channels, you know, right off the top of my head, you know, the, what's that show with the two British guys, pedal something, the pedal show, that pedal show. You know, that all they talk about is tone and how to achieve tone and stuff like that. So, you know, the pursuit of tone, I mean, there's that's a lifelong thing. And in what I found in the last 4 years is that pursuit of tone has not only made what I sound better, but actually really improved my playing, in the sense that, you know, like when you sound good, you generally up your game. Like you try to, you know, like it inspires you, is what I'm trying to say, um, to play better. Fender Guru, that's why I've held the view that when people say Clapton will sound like Clapton on a cheap guitar and amp, doesn't work for me. All my guitars sound different. So the argument that tone is in your hands makes no sense. You know, I'll say this about that argument. If you only play one style of music and you only require one tone, then yeah, the tone is in your hands because you're only playing that one style of music. My issue is I play a lot of different styles of music, right? Because what I do is I play in a cover band. I play in two of them and possibly a third coming up. So that's another story. So I have to be able to achieve a bunch of different tones. So yeah, it's me playing the gear, obviously, but if I stick to one tone and I play the whole night with that one tone, okay, it you know, I would say a good 75% of what I play is going to sound like complete garbage. Okay, no matter how I, you know, accurate and cleanly and how much emotion I put into it, I'd say a good 75-80% of what I play is going to sound like complete garbage. So you have to try to match the style of what you're playing. Like if you're in a hard rock band and all you play is hard rock, yeah, you can dial up one tone and that can carry you through the night. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, like I'm not, you know, dissing any style of music or any, you know, playing style at all. I would love that. That'd actually be real easy for me because I could just dial one in and go. But I've got to literally swap tones in and out from song to song. Okay. I've put up, just to kind of give you an idea, I've put up a couple of rehearsal videos. And you can kind of, if you listen closely, you can hear my clicking things on and off and switching tones, song, not necessarily song to song, but, you know, depending, you know, some songs I'll use heavier drive, some songs lighter drive, some songs clean, some songs chorus, some songs delay, some songs no delay, you know, back and forth all the way through. I'm just going to read some of these comments. Brian Cote, I've been working on finding the right setup for my tone preferences all year. After much experimentation, I decided to just stick with my Helix and a top quality powered flat response speaker. Okay, so you're using your speaker as, or sorry, well, your speaker or your amplifier as your platform. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I dial in my amp, regardless of what amp I have, what head. I basically dial in a nice clean tone because I'm going to use that clean tone at times. Okay, it's not just throwing pedals in front of it every time. I'll dial in a nice clean tone on the verge of breakup because that makes a big difference, I find. If it's too clean, you know, I tend to like it on the verge of breakup. So if I hit the guitar hard, I'm going to have just a little bit of breakup. I find that that works better when I throw pedals in front of it. Where are you playing live next, Hack? I'm playing a place called Magnum's November 30th. So not this Friday night, but the following Friday. And that'll be my last gig of the year. This year, I've done a lot of shows. More shows than I've done in, well, I stopped playing guitar for a long time, but I've probably done about 20 to 25 gigs between about March till October. So it's quite a few. Tone is a combination of so many elements, effects, amp, guitar, and player. Yes, metal stage. Yes. Now, what I find is, what I've tried to do is try to use one guitar throughout the whole show, and in that way, when I dial up my tones and I do all my settings, and I got my pedal board right here, so I'm going to do a little walkthrough with the pedal board, you know, which hopefully, you know, for those of you that are just kind of starting in, because, you know, when I started the whole pursuit of tone, like, I was green as can be. Like, it was a learning curve, and I mean, I'm still learning, right? And I'm still, you know, I'm at a point now where I'm pretty satisfied with my board, and it's got everything on it that I basically use. I mean, it could be better. It can always be better, but I think I'm at a point now. I've played so many shows this year, and I think I'm at, you know, like, I'm not looking for any pedals right now. Let's put it this way. I'm at a point now where I can cover all the sonic territory that I need to cover. So I'm going to stick with what I have. Oh my God, we got 25 people watching. This is insane. Thank you all so much. That's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's my last show of the year, Adam, EVH. There is talk. I may still be doing something for New Year's Eve. There's a couple of the negotiations, you know. I don't get involved in any of that stuff, man. I just want to be the hired gun. I just want to show up, plug in, and do my thing. I don't want to get involved with that part of it. Just tell me where the gig is, and, you know. Your hand on my what while watching. Hey, oh yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, Jason Wade, play away, man. That's what I do a lot of times when I'm watching these things. Is I got a guitar in my hands. Okay, everybody's saying hello to each other. I think the finger tone deals with string bends, hammer-ons, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, but, you know, if you're playing a clean solo, you know, something that should be a clean solo, yeah, your hands are doing all the notes and all that, but you got to have the right sound, you know. It's I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy. You know, it's like, you know, can you cook all your food in the same pot? Does that make any sense? I don't know if that's even a good analogy. Scott Nickerson, how are you, sir? Thanks for popping in. Suave Trainwreck, how's it going? Cheers, all. Yeah, again, I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thanksgiving Day and weekend. Yes, Thanksgiving to all my colonial cousins. The right sound is important for sure. Yes, Suave Trainwreck, you have to dial in the right tone appropriate to the music that you're playing. And if you play a variety of music, you need a variety of tones. Okay, so what I've been doing recently, pretty much all year, like all the 20 some odd shows that I've played, you know, and they're all covers. I play covers, so I need a whole variety of tones. I've been using one guitar, and I find the one guitar, you know, and the guitar, I play a Les Paul, and I use everything imaginable in that Les Paul. I don't just put it on the bridge, and, you know, I don't do that. I use every pickup, you know, if every pickup position. I dial volumes in, dial volumes out. Sometimes I'll even mess with the tone knob. But the reason it's easier to do that is I know how all my pedals, when I set them up, how they're all going to respond to that Les Paul. So I tweak my pedals for that specific guitar, so there's no surprises. Like if I and you know, like if I go and I switch guitars, okay, then it's like a clean slate. Then all those tones that I dialed up that worked for that guitar are going to sound bad on the other guitar. 9 times out of 10, they're always going to be a little bit of tweaking involved. Metal. Okay, Metal Stagio, guitar guy. You trying to find the best way to get close tones for the variety? Yeah, exactly, Metal Stagio. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to dial appropriate tones to the songs that I'm playing. Okay, and again, I posted a couple of rehearsal videos for one band that I'm in, and I mean, we play a variety of stuff, you know, and you gotta, you know, if you don't have the right tone appropriate to the song, it's going to sound like crap, no matter how good we play it. So, you know, again, this is just my opinion. I welcome anybody else's opinion, but at the end of the day, I think the tone is just as important as what you play. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, Suave. Yeah, Jason is an awesome player, man. I agree. Actually, Suave, you are an awesome player, man. That blues thing that you did was phenomenal. Yeah. Can sometimes simulate it. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah. You can do a lot with an EQ. Yeah, yeah. You can use an EQ. Also, you can use an EQ for a mid boost. You can use for a boost pedal. Jack up the mids and the volume a little bit. Have you tried some of the Boss Metal Stagio? No, I have not tried the Boss Katana. The other guy that in my band, the other guitar player, he plays a Boss Katana. He's just switched over, okay? But he's more of a rhythm player, okay? And so not that the Boss Katana can do a lot, but he tries to keep it pretty simple, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to show you folks my pedal board, okay? And I'm not showing you the pedal board because this is the way you do it. And this is just what works for me. And this is after, again, about 4 years of trial and error and trying different pedals and personal preferences and all that kind of thing. EQ pedal is a must live. I don't know if I agree with that, Clive. I think if you dial a good bass tone, you can use your pedals, like other pedals to get those boosts in those areas that you require. Okay, so let me show you my pedal board, folks, and I'm going to go through it. And so I'm gonna put the comments down here for a second. But if you want me to see the comments, or if you have any questions, oh, Bruce is in here. I didn't see Bruce. If Bruce is in here, hello, Bruce. How are you, sir? Stafford Studio. Hey, buddy. So this is kind of what I've arrived at, okay? Through trial and error and trying different pedals and so on, okay? So this is my pedal board, okay? This is my pedal board. Now, I watched a lot of videos about pedals and what order to put them in and everything else. And the one thing I'm going to say is nobody agrees, okay, on something as fundamental as that. So what I did, like I'll give you an example. Some people say, oh, Bruce, sorry, you're hey, Swap. Yeah, you are Bruce. Sorry, I apologize. What some people, for example, some people will tell you to put a compressor before an overdrive. Some people will tell you to put a compressor after an overdrive. I mean, put a boost. Put a clean boost before an overdrive, a clean boost after an overdrive. Every combination. These are ingredients. Okay, you're making a meal here. These are ingredients. So if you want more salt, less salt, more pepper, less pepper, it's personal preference, and it's whatever achieves the sound that you're looking for. Okay, so this is not necessarily the right way to do it. Okay, these are not the pedals that, the best pedals. I'm not saying any of that. Okay, what I'm saying is these are the pedals for my requirements, okay, that worked for me. And in a typical, like, I basically, and I'm not saying this to boast, but there's about 60 different songs that I have to be able to play at any one time, okay? And those 60 songs range like from, Roy Orbison to Green Day, just to give you an idea of the all the different types of sonic territory, so to speak, that I have to cover. Jason Wade, I've had two Katanas, the 100 and the 50, ended up taking both back, just my preference. I do like the Yamaha tier. I don't have any pedals, never been a pedal guy. Yeah, again, you know, you can do the multi-effects thing. I had a multi-effects. When I started playing again, I was a complete noob effects-wise. So for me, the easiest route was I bought a Boss multi-effects, and I actually used that for a year or two. And then I got into the pedals, and I don't think I'll ever go back to that multi-effects. I understand that the ones out there now are much better, but I'm just so accustomed to using pedals, and I love using pedals. Have you tried the EP boost around $8 US dollars? Yeah, the EP booster. I haven't put one on my board. That's you know, there's a bunch of pedals that are kind of, you know, that I think about. You know, I think about an MXR Phase 95. You know, that might come onto the board at some point. I'm thinking about a Sir Riot, an Angry Charlie. There's a lot of pedals that, you know, may or may not at one time get swapped in and out of the board. Like this is just what's working for me currently. So let me go through this board, and you know, and just to give you some ideas, you know, if how at least how I achieve the different sounds. Okay, so let me just hold this thing up. This is a little heavy. Okay, so the first thing in my pedal board is my my Polytune. Okay, it's a TC Electronic Polytune. Now, I like it because in the dark, and when you're playing a bar, it's dark, and I've done outdoor shows, and I can always see. Okay, because it's nice big letters, even though this is a mini. I mean, my eyesight isn't great, but I can still see this. Okay, you can clearly see, you know, where you are, and the other thing I like about it is it's easy to see, and I've got some songs I gotta do a drop D. I got one band that plays in E flat. I've got a band that plays in E in standard tuning, you know, and I can tune real quick with that. It's real accurate, and it just works really, really well. Okay. I do have an 11 rack coming home tomorrow. So oh, that's awesome, Jason Wade. Yeah, I'll look at the chat if you want. If you want me to see your comments, please, you know, just put at Guitar Hack so I can see it. So there's my Polytune is first, and then I have a mini Crybaby Wah. Okay, so I'm going Polytune mini Crybaby Wah. Now that's another debate: Crybaby Wah before overdrive or after overdrive. I've experimented. I've put things in front of things and all of that sort of thing. And what works best for me, I like the Crybaby before my overdrives. Okay, and the mini Crybaby is a great pedal because it's small. I had the full-size Crybaby, but I would have to put it on the side of the board, and it's just a lot easier to put it right up there. Okay, even the placement of these pedals too, like, was a lot of trial and error because I want to make sure I can hit things without hitting other things. Okay, so I'm going mini tune into the Crybaby Wah. Now, if you look down here, oops, I'm backwards. Okay, 1, 2, I have 3 different overdrives. Okay, now you're going to say, well, why the hell do you need 3 different overdrives? Well, I need 3 different overdrives because I have them all set. Now, they all sound a little bit different, okay, for one. Secondly, I set different gain levels for each one because when you're playing a show and you've got people up and dancing, the last thing they want to see is you stop, kneel down, and move a bunch of knobs around, okay, to dial up your next sound. Like, you can't do that. Now, if you have, this is where multi-effects is cool because you can dial up all your presets and just go, you know, sound to sound to sound. And I did that for like, for a long time, okay? You can do that. But, you know, doing it with pedals is, I mean, it's a lot more expensive. That is for sure. But at the same time, these 3 overdrives sound absolutely fantastic. Okay, I love the sound of these 3 overdrives, and I'll quickly just go through like what I would use each one for. Okay, well, this one here, that's my AC/DC sound. Okay, that's my AC/DC sound. Now, when I say AC/DC, AC/DC, if you listen to AC/DC closely, there's not a lot of overdrive happening there. It's a very light overdrive. Okay, it's just a little bit of breakup there. Okay, and this is, by the way, is a Marshall Governor pedal. Okay, so I tweak this and I set this up as my light overdrive. So basically I call this my AC/DC pedal. And, you know, because I do Highway to Hell. Okay, and when I hit that pedal and I play Highway to Hell, that sound works great. Now, another thing, if you want to play AC/DC, no delay, because I have delay on for a lot of what I do. But if you're okay, so again, trying to achieve a sound for a song, if I want to have an appropriate AC/DC tone, I want that pedal on and a little bit of reverb. I don't even want that. Well, normally I don't have that much reverb anyway. And this is a Hall of Fame. I'll get to this pedal in a minute, but there's a million types of reverbs I can put in there because I can beam different sounds into it. But I just use the plate reverb. I'm not a fan of spring reverb, but the reverb kind of low and no delay, because AC/DC, again, having the right sound. If you play an AC/DC riff with a bunch of delay or any delay, it sounds like crap. It's got to be clean. You can hit the delay on when you hit the solo, because you might want a little bit. It's like sustain. Okay, you want the note to linger a little longer. But when you're playing the riff, man, you just want a little touch of reverb and you want some light gain. Okay, this is what I'm getting at. It's not just playing the notes. It's getting the dialing in the right sound. And again, this is just my opinion. Okay, so that's my AC/DC sound right there. Okay, now I've got a Pinnacle. I got a Wampler Deluxe Pinnacle here. Now this was a really, really expensive pedal. Okay, and I thought that this pedal I could use for my main overdrive. Turns out it's a great pedal, but this pedal is not as versatile as I would have liked. So what it does really, really well is Van Halen. This is the Van Halen. This is the Brown sound. Okay, so what I'll use this pedal for is when I want really heavy overdriven sounds. So, you know, if I'm playing Ain't Talking About Love, I'm turning that on. For non-Van Halen stuff, what I'll use with this, I'll use this for Green Day. Okay, I'll use this for Green Day, Blink 182. Or you know, for doing a Ramones tune. This is what I'm using for that, because it's got a really heavy, fat overdrive. Okay, so that's my heavy overdrive pedal. If I want feedback, if I want sustain, if I want like a lot of crunch, I'm trying to think of other songs I use this with. Drawing a blank. Anyways, but that's what I use that for. Okay, then my main overdrive pedal, which falls somewhere between this and this, is this pedal, which is a Plimsoll by Full Tone. Now, this pedal here I call it my main overdrive because this is what I use for most of my classic rock tones, is this one right here. I can't say in like my personal opinion, I think this is the best overdrive pedal going. I haven't come across a pedal that sounds as good as this. And I've done videos with this pedal, okay, if you want to hear it in a comparison. This pedal is just phenomenal. This pedal can do what this pedal can do, just about. And this one, actually. Okay, but I set this up for what I call my classic rock tone. Okay, so if I'm playing a rock tune, any classic rock tune, okay, where I want a little heavier distortion, this is the one that I use. Okay, so I've got 3 pedals, but I've got them all dialed up differently to give me 3 different overdrive sounds, as opposed to, you know, just one big overdrive for the whole thing. Okay, and I have them all chained together, so I can actually play this one into this one and this one into this one if I want. Although I don't do that, because I consider this as 3 separate overdrive sounds. Okay, for my boost, my lead boost, the good old Tube Screamer. It's a mini Tube Screamer pedal. It's the Ibanez. That's my boost right there. Okay, so when I want to cut a solo and I want to be heard, and I want to be heard over the band, that's the pedal that does it for me. And I mean, I don't have to talk about the Tube Screamer. Everybody knows what the Tube Screamer is and what it does. It gives you that mid-hump boost, and it lets you cut through. If you want the singing leads, you want that classic tone, you know, that you've heard a million times, okay, I'll have an overdrive on. I hit that, and that just takes it to another level. Okay, I can't say enough about the Tube Screamer. Okay. So this is the order I have them running in. Next, I have a compressor. Okay, now this is the TC Electronic Hypergravity. Okay, this has way more on it than I need, honestly. Okay, but what it does have on it that I use is it has a center position, which I'm trying to remember what it's called now. It's basically, how would I put it? Most compressors, some of them, well, not most, but a lot of them will darken your sound and take any kind of sparkle out of it. This one doesn't. This compresses the sound, but it doesn't really mess up your EQ very much. So you can still cut with this compressor nicely. And I'm in a 2-guitar band, so that's important. And what I also use this for, well, what I use this for is for clean leads. Okay, if I want to play a clean lead, a solo, clean, that's my clean lead boost, if you will, is this one right here. Okay, so I've dialed this up so that I can basically, because what a compressor does is it literally squishes your sound. It makes every note as loud as every other note. It levels out all your sound. So your thin strings are as loud as your heavy strings. And if you want to pop through and you want to play, you want your clean lead to cut, okay, that's what I use, is that there. Okay, for my clean soloing, I'll use this. And then the chorus, okay, this is a Corona chorus. It's another TC pedal. The Corona chorus, I'll use that, when we're playing something, again, clean. If I just wanted that sort of kind of frilly sound to it. If I'm playing like 80s stuff, like if I'm doing, Blondie, or like Call Me is one song, for example, or, or maybe like a Duran Duran, I'll throw this one on as well, because it gives you that 80s flavor. Okay, but this isn't something that's going to be on all the time. Okay, so this pedal does not get used all the time. Neither does this one. Okay, it's for the classic rock, again, it's probably going to be these three, and a delay and a reverb. Okay, unless, again, I'm playing, like a AC/DC. If I'm doing Jesse's Girl, for example, you don't want any delay. You want it to be clean. You want the notes to stop, so the delay will be off for that as well. I'm just giving you some examples, because when I'm playing a song, I'm not just thinking about what I'm playing. I'm also thinking about, what I'm going to hit and what I'm going to turn on and off as I go. So again, in order, after the chorus, I go into a delay, and the delay pedal, this is a flashback, which is really good. I use slapback a lot on this. So if I'm playing like Pretty Woman or Boys by the Beatles, which is, you got that 50s kind of solo thing, and you want a little bit of slapback, that's the one that's going to give it to you. I can go from slapback. I generally use a slapback, and I use the analog. This has digital also in it. I'm not a fan of digital delay. I just don't like it. It's not natural. I like the sound of analog delay that, has a natural decay. Again, that's just me. And this one will do that. Okay. So yeah, I'm always, I'll bend over, I'll put the slap back on, then I'll go back to the regular analog delay on this. Okay. So again, in order, it's the chorus, then it's the delay, and then at the end of the chain, well, second from the end, is my Hall of Fame. And my Hall of Fame, I just used the plate reverb on it. I think it's a fantastic pedal. I see a lot of questions popping up. I'll be answering those in a second as soon as I put this down. I just use a plate reverb. I don't use any reverbs on my amps. I turn all the reverbs off on my amp. All my reverb comes from this pedal. And everything goes in the front. I do not use effects loops. Okay? Just because of, literally, it's just the extra cabling, and I'm just too lazy to do it. So I can plug this into... When I go rehearse, I plug this right into the front of a Marshall Head 412 cab. It sounds great. Okay. Then the last pedal that I have in the chain is this one here. And this is just a Spark Booster, which is another TC pedal. The Spark Booster is just a clean boost. It'll take everything in front of it and just raise it in volume. So I call this a last resort pedal. If I'm playing... and for whatever reason, I can't hear myself, and I don't want to, reach for the amp or whatever, I'll just turn this thing on, and it raises everything. Or if my solo, I can't hear it, it's not cutting through, I'll hit this. And it just takes everything in front of it and raises it. Okay, so this has been my rig, so to speak, for basically this year, for like the, I don't know how many gigs I've done, 20, 25, something in that range. This year, I haven't changed these pedals. This has been my mainstay, and for me, this has worked fantastic. I can cover so much sonic territory by turning things on and off with this arrangement of pedals. Okay, let me go back and check some of these questions. I apologize for missing the questions. Okay, everybody's saying hello. Your pedal needs your your pedal needs a guitar hack sticker. Yeah, I don't have any guitar hack stickers. Mayhem. I'm going to build a cheap MIDI foot for the H9 based on the. Oh, that's cool, Jimmy T. Oh, Dry Heat, how are you, man? Clive, how's it going? Let me just see if I missed anybody. Sean Zimmerman's in the house. How are you? Todd Flowers, how's it going? Dave Byron. 31 people. This is awesome. Thank you all so much for popping in. Frank Corcoran. Okay, let me get to some of the questions, folks. Dry Heat. Hey there. This is the reason I love your show. You're a straight up guy. Also, you are absolutely correct. Pedal boards are 100% subjective. What works for you is what is right. Which one do you use when you play Pink Floyd? I put them all on, Jason. Everything on 10, buddy. It works like a charm. Thanks for the comment, Dry Heat. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, pedal boards, everybody's got a different pedal board. I mean, there's no right or wrong, right? It's just whatever works for you. And like I said, it's a journey. You have to find, the pedals that work for you. Okay, later, Stafford Studio. David, thanks for popping in, man. Have you considered isolating the wah in its own loop for failure protection and better? No, Jimmy T. I've not done that. I actually bought the mini so that it would fit on my board, because I used to use a full size mini and then it was off to the side and then it was just cumbersome. You don't trust wahs. Well, I haven't had any bad experience so far with the wah pedal. Yeah, thanks, Jimmy T. Everyone more. Oh yeah, thanks, Mayhem. Paul Lou, hey man. Yeah, so again, getting back to what I was saying, I really think that the tone that you achieve is just as important. Hey, Troy Harris, how are you? The tone you achieve is just as important as what you play. And with all the different types of tunes that we play, for me, it's a matter of, of course, learning the material, but then deciding what effects to include or not include. Because when again, if you're in the ballpark of what you're doing, you don't have to necessarily duplicate what's on the record. I mean, that's impossible. You're not going to duplicate, the guitar 60 songs, guitars for 60 different songs or whatever it might be. But you come close as you can. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, we do a Bon Jovi song. Okay, and I don't have a talk box. Okay, so what's the closest I can come to a talk box is I use my wah pedal. Guitar hack. How often do you practice using the pedal board? Often, never. I actually, when I'm learning a song and I'm trying to figure out what, sometimes if it's a crazy tone, I'll actually experiment with the pedals and then confirm what I'm going to use. We just started playing Sanctuary. She Sells Sanctuary, the old Cult song. Okay, and that song has got a lot of things going on. Okay, so I had to play around a little bit, and I don't have a phaser pedal, which is why I'm thinking about a phaser, because I could use a phaser for that, and the pedals got to justify themselves. I'm not going to buy a pedal just for one effect in one song, but the phaser might justify itself because I need it for Sanctuary and I need it for Van Halen. And right now I'm faking a phaser with a chorus pedal, which, it's close, it could be close, phaser and delay, you know, or sorry, chorus and delay to fake that sound. Dennis, bro, just got a Boss M80 again. Great deal. Oh, cool, Dennis. That's good, man. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know what kind of gear you folks use to achieve your different sounds. I just wanted to talk pedals, you know, get away from guitars for a minute, and kind of, you know, maybe for anybody that's, you know, kind of starting out with pedals, you know, let them know, um, you know, how I do it as an example, not necessarily do it my way, but as an example, you know, to kind of help you navigate your way through. The other thing I forgot to mention, I'm just going to show the board for one more second, just to show you how I power the board. Now, this is nothing fancy. This is just a pedal train. These things, what the pedal is sitting on, okay, this is a pedal train board. And I think, which one is it? It's the Pedal Classic Junior, okay? So one thing about the pedal board is make sure that you buy one big enough, okay? So I've already got stuff sideways and up this and that. So I'm running out of real estate here. The other thing you got to think about too is, okay, there's my power block, okay? It's I use a Voodoo pedal power, and I already have more pedals than I have power. So I have to use this in conjunction with a one spot, which is another, basically another adapter that you plug in that, you know, I have to feed 3 pedals off of this with a one spot. So it'd be cool if I could plug everything into, you know, into my brick, but I'm out of spots on my brick. I've got more pedals than I have outlets on the brick, you know. And to buy another brick, I mean, these bricks are really expensive, and on the one spot, it's a cheap way to do it. The only thing is when you're at the gig, you know, because you got 2 things you're plugging in, and then you got to plug in your head, you know, it's more extension cords and, you know, that kind of thing, more power bars and all that kind of stuff. But at this point, this is what I'm using. But at some point, I would like to either swap this out for another power supply that has more power ports on it. You know, I like to keep it clean and, you know, not have 2 separate power supplies, but we'll see how it goes. Jason Wade, I use TH3 software, Bias, FX Pro, TH-R10 editor, come with Yamaha amp. Man, I don't understand any of that. I'm not a software guy at all, man. I'm so old school, Jason, it's not funny. You know, it's for me, it's old guitars, you know, it's all old stuff. It's like Gibson guitars or Fender guitars, it's tube amps and it's pedals. I'm a fossil when it comes to gear. You know. Troy Harris, how are you? Thanks for popping in. Suave Trainwreck. In the last so many years, I got goofy and didn't use any pedals. The last few months or so, I started playing around with pedals more, but hardly ever plug them in. Bobby Clipper, how are you? I like multi-effects. Yeah, again, the multi-effects, you know, I started with multi-effects, and then I migrated to pedals, right? You know, like if I was to go with the multi-effects, probably because, you know, I had an ME, or sorry, not an ME. Is it an ME? Maybe no. Sorry, it's an ME70. I had an ME70. That's not an ME50. I had an ME70. But I like the sounds out of my pedals better than that. That being said, though, the GT, the new G, is it GT100? The new, I think that's the name of the new Boss. And I've seen demos of that, and those sounds are way better than what I had. Zach Thong, how are you, sir? We got 31 people watching. This is awesome. One pedal Soul Food. I got it from, yeah, the Soul Food's pretty good. It's a pretty good dirt pedal for cheap. I was actually debating using a Soul Food in place of my Tube Screamer for a boost, because I've seen people do that, and I hear it works quite well as a lead boost. Suave, if I were in a band, I would surely use more pedals. Yeah, it's a necessity, you know. Well, either pedals, or you'd have to go and get a multi-effects and then, you know, program everything up. Tough JHS Bonsai, Klon Centaur, Boss Blues Driver, Fender, the Benz Comp Fender. Wow, man. Yeah, the JHS Bonsai. That's all the Tube Screamers in one. Yeah. Klon Centaur. If you have a real Klon, congratulations, man. That's like a holy grail, man. The Blues Driver, yeah. Yeah, the Boss Blues Driver is cool. Yeah. Fender, the Benz compressor. Okay, I'm not familiar with that compressor, and I'm not familiar with that reverb. Jimmy T, have you seen pedal boards from Temple Audio Design Canadian? Amongst best I've seen. Yeah, there's some pretty cool pedal manufacturers now. There's a few things that I've seen. One guy had, don't ask me names of companies, but one guy had a pedal board that was actually rechargeable, and you could plug. So instead of having a like a brick, you would literally plug right into the board itself, and then the board would be rechargeable. I've seen that. As an IT guy, get some double-sided Velcro. I've got Velcro holding my pedals to the board. Yeah, you know what? With the Velcro, the thing is, I like swapping stuff around sometimes, and this has happened where I've had, you know, problems during a show, and the last thing I want is more Velcro to, you know, like I want to be able to, if I got a pedal that's acting up, I want to be able to just yank it right out, cord and all. Actually, I have a bad one right now. So I'm using my one spot. Actually, I said 3 pedals. Actually, make it 4 because, yeah, there's actually one that went down on me. So I live in an apartment, so I have to utilize my workspace and be quiet. Yeah, no worries, Jason Wade. I'm just telling you what works for me, man. I'm just telling you what works for me. I also have HM2 metal pedal 19. Oh, cool. Troy Harris. That's cool. The Picker Hat. How are you? Can't count all my pedals, but for distortion, Wampler, Pinnacle, for high gain. Yeah, I use the same one. I just showed it a minute ago, Picker Hat. Hot wire for more bluesy and yeah. Yeah, I've never tried a hot wire. I've never, from what I understand, it's kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but Boss Blues Driver-ish? Correct me if I'm wrong. RP2000, great unit. Oh, cool, cool. Rob Franklin, you crazy Canadian. Hey, Rob Franklin, how are you, man? New gear day tomorrow. Fender Player Strat. Oh, good for you, Troy. Yeah, the Player Strats are really good, man. They're nice guitars. Jason Wade just picked one up. They're really nice guitars. I was, no, I got over it. I got over this gas, but a while back I was seriously considering picking up a Butterscotch Telly Player Series. They're good guitars, man. For the money, you can't go wrong. Laughter, yeah. I have stage lighting in my kitchen. Okay, cool, man. Guitar Rig 5 for in the box. Cool, cool. Yeah, I got a blues and country affinity, but you can also get high gain sounds of it. But oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So you can get some versatility there. Yeah, Jason Wade, your guitars is really nice, man. I love the buttercream. That's cool, man. It's a beautiful Strat, and it sounded really, really good when you were playing it. And that sound that you were getting out of all those letters and numbers that you mentioned earlier. Anyways, that thing sounded really cool, man. It sounded really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, if anyone's got any questions for me about gear, you know, we can talk. I can talk pedals till I'm blue in the face, or gigs or anything else that I, you know, use for my stuff. By all means, if you tag me at Guitar Hack, I could see it. Yes, the hack. That's cool. By the way, great job on the Blues Challenge for Dave. Oh, thanks, thanks, Mayhem. Yeah, Dave just posted a new one. It's a heavy metal. I think it's a metal challenge now. So that's going to be good for all the shredders out there. So I may attempt that. I don't know. I just heard it briefly. It's a rock riff. I'll have to take out the Music Man for that. It's got a whammy bar on it, and see if I can do some squealies. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, those. Yeah, you're just talking about the guitars you're getting. Yeah, those guitars are really really cool. Um, I posted a video of this. I came across a. I used the Governor and the Memory Man. Yeah, I've got the new Governor on my board right now, Rob Franklin. The Governor 2. I know it's not as good as the original, but I like it. I think it sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I came across the Fender Meteora. Okay, I posted a video on my channel. Basically, I'm in the store trying to be real quiet so nobody walks in, and I played it. And I can't say enough good things about it. I absolutely love that guitar. That guitar, I walked away with major gas. But that thing is so damn expensive. People are saying it's a Telecaster and with a Jaguar. Look, I hate Jaguars. I can't play Jaguars. I don't like the scale length. But that had a scale length that I could play. So I think it's a regular scale length. Don't ask me the measurements, 25 and something. I don't know. But it had a scale length that I could work with. And it did not sound 100% like a Telecaster. I own a Telecaster. It did not sound like my Telecaster at home. It had a little more balls to it. Now, that might be the pickups that were in it, because from what I understand, the pickups that are in that guitar are the custom shop pickups that they put in the Elite series. It's switching wise, it's a three-way switch. It's tele switching. It's got the lipstick and the single coil and the bridge. My God, that thing played so great. It sounded fantastic, and it was a nice butterscotch with the black pickguard. I think that's the only color they come in right now. But what a fantastic guitar. But man, that guitar in Canadian money is $2,600. I would have to sell 2 guitars to buy that one. So I don't think it's going to happen. I can't give up 2 guitars for that Meteor. But man, what a great instrument. If you've not tried one, it's they call it the Fender Parallel series. Of all the ones I've seen, I haven't played. That's the only one I played. But just visually, for me, that I like the look of it, and I love the sound of it. So, Guitar Hack, you like Warren Hayes? Man, that dude has such feel to his playing. Love listen to. So, I'm not. No, I haven't really listened to a lot of Warren Hayes. There's a lot of guys that they just haven't come on my radar. That's one of them. So yeah, I mean, I should check him out. Guitar Hacker 339 versus 335. How much difference in tone? I don't have a 335, Todd. I just have the 339. That being said, I have A-B'd them. I did that in a music store a while back. I was with a buddy who was trying to decide which one to buy. Both of them have this, I don't know, it's sort of fuller, richer, because of their semi-acoustic. They kind of have a thicker, like a warmer tone, whereas a solid body is sort of more direct. Like I did a video where I A-B'd my 339 with my Les Paul. It's an old video. It's got a lot of hits. I think it's like over 11,000 people have seen it. But I A-B'd them, and the as far as cutting through a mix, the solid body is will do so more so than the 339. The 339, it's sort of a more fuller and cleaner. The 339 blew away the Les Paul. That being said, take that to the next level, and now you have your 335. It's even more fuller sounding, and it's got that nice jazzy thing. The only thing is, the 339 or 335, if you were playing with another guitar player, it would be harder to cut through. So I only use the 339 in the one guitar band that I'm in. I don't use it with a 2 guitar band, just so I can cut through. Where are we here? 339, 335, 17 thumbs up. Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Appreciate that. Oh, you got the Meteor picker hat. Yeah, the Meteor is fantastic, man. Thank you. Oops. Thank you. Yeah, the Meteora, let me pronounce that correctly, is a fantastic guitar. Yeah, I'd love to own one. Yeah, picker hat, man. Put some clips up. You know, play it, put some clips up, you know, let us know what your thoughts are. Do like a guitar demo of that. That'd be awesome. I got a Jag, it's okay. You know what, Troy? Nothing, again, it's personal preference. I'm not a fan of the Jag. The Jags, the Mustangs, they just don't do anything for me, you know. But again, it's personal preference, man. That's all it is. Whoops. Parallel Universe. Yeah, Parallel Universe, Dennis Bro. Parallel Universe is a guitar line that Fender has just put out. And what they're doing is they're basically combining existing Fender models. So they're doing hybrids. So like a Strat and Telly, a Jag, and the Meteor is supposed to be a Jag and a Telly. So they're taking like body shapes and pickup configurations and kind of mashing things together. No, Todd, I don't have both. I don't. And the reason I didn't buy a 335 is, cool, Adam EVH sub picker hat. Yeah, folks, sub each other, man. Keep the community growing. Sorry, I forgot where I was talking. Yeah, the reason I didn't pick up a 335, Todd, is it's just, I'm not a big guy. I'm only like 5'5", 5'6", so it's just too big. The 339 is sort of more my size. It's just a little bigger than a Les Paul body, so it suits me better. How many cards in the set of the famous 19 Don Russ Kiss cards? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I had them all at one time. I think it was like 75 or 80, something like that, Jimmy. You got me on that one, brother. You cracked the hack, my friend. My go-to is a Washburn with Randall pickups. Cool. I don't know what they're worth. That's a good question. I have no idea what they're worth. You know, I'd have to go on eBay and look that up, Jimmy T. Well, you know what, Todd Flowers, they do sound a little bit different, you know. As far as like playability, I think they have the same pickups in them too. The necks feel the same as well. So it's just, you know, do you want like a sort of a bigger tone, or do you want more of a compressed tone? They both have that sort of acoustic quality to them. Like, you know, they're both fuller sounding. You can play rock with either one of them. Obviously, a lot of people have. So, yeah, semi-hollow bodies. Yeah, semi-hollow bodies. Like, I bought my 339 because I'm a big fan of Alex Lifeson, right? And when I play that guitar, I hear that Rush, their first album. You know, I hear that similar tone, you know. And again, it works for Rush because if you're a one-guitar band, it's a fuller sounding guitar, to my ears anyways. My dad has a 330, nice axe. Oh yeah, they're great. Metal Stage O, great stream. See you on Ben Coombs. Have a great. Yeah, Ben is starting up. Wow, in about 2 minutes. So yeah, so I'm just gonna do my regular speech here. Yeah, so please everybody, sub to everyone else in the chat. I've got some fantastic stations, the YouTube channels below. Check them out. Let's keep the community growing. Let's keep it all positive. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. This was fantastic. I haven't done a solo show in a long time, so this was kind of cool getting back to this. I do have a few things upcoming. I have Fender Guru is coming on with me Saturday at 7 p.m. this coming Saturday. And on Tuesday, I have China Guitar Skeptic coming on. And then I have Dave Nesdahl, who was supposed to have been with me on Tuesday, wasn't feeling well. Dave Nesdahl will be on with me a week from tonight. And Ben Coombs is starting up in a minute over on his channel. So I'm going to sign off. 60, sorry, okay, $60. Okay, that's a funny looking. Okay, behind you. Yeah, my wife made that for me. Yeah, Rush is awesome. Yeah, they are. Just want to answer your left. Thanks for sharing. Okay, thanks everybody so much. Jimmy T. Gray, I cracked the hack. Okay, folks. Thanks everybody. Yeah, Gibson Birdland. Yeah, I work for Nugent. Yeah, that's yeah, if you want a lot of feedback, get a semi-hollow, whether you want it or not. Okay, great. Thanks everybody so much for checking it out. And check out Ben Coombs Connects with Guitars. It's starting very, very shortly. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I love doing things, and we hopefully will see you all on Saturday night with our good friend, the Fender Guru from New Zealand. Okay, cheers all. Take care.